Oh my god, it's so 90s. I kinda love it.
So use the law and use your testament to reach out to the lost.
Have I ever been to a zoo? Yes, but only under duress. I hate zoos. I find them offensive. Not for any moral reason, it's just that, well, did you know that they let the Who-Mans exhibit just wander around, free, like they own the place? That's just not fair. They should be locked up like the rest of them, preferably in a cage with electrified walls and auto turrets around the edge, programmed to shoot them at random so they don't get any big ideas. That, or just let the animals roam the place too. Come on, what's a couple of dead people compared to the ability to pet big teethy boys? That sounds awesome. In fact, I think I might try and ride them.
We probably only get in contact with the more or less human form of extraterrestrials.
What? Space humans? No, that's it. I am not having any of that nonsense. Spaceships? Sure. Space rocks? Of course. Space cows? Okay. Even the odd space McDonald's makes sense. They are everywhere after all. Why not space as well? But space humans? No, I will not have my beautiful space ruined by yet more Who-Mans out there. I locked you all on the planet for a reason. Don't make me get my gun. Punching someone in the face for no reason. That is pretty immoral, but on the lower end. And on the very high end, you have taking a single shot of my whiskey without permission. Basically the worst thing you can do, and will result in your instant melting. Same happens if you take it with my permission, because you will never get my permission. This is also an example of morally justified murder. I am on fire today. Just like you'll be if you touch my whiskey.
Their hero is corruption. Their hero is gene degradation.
What? Hero? What are you talking about, you ridiculous little man? Their hero is obviously me. I mean, here I am, listening to your absolute lunacy and cutting it down into bite-sized chunks with colour commentary and terrible jokes, so they can listen to you without peeling off their own faces to use as tortillas. I'm basically Super Jesus.
There's more to life than this.
More to life than arguing with people on the internet? I think not, good sir. There is nothing in the world more important than a verbal joust with a worthy foe. Or if one is not available, picking apart the arguments of an idiot. That's not what's happening here, though, or anything, no.
You're able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their perspective.
Well, I do find myself in other people's shoes. All the time. Because I steal them. But if they don't fit, I just throw them in a local river or cesspit. But yeah, as the great saying goes, don't judge a man until you have walked a mile in his shoes. Because you'll be a mile away and you'll have his shoes.
I don't know if you've read the scripture in 2 Kings where Jehu came running furiously on his chariot, riding his chariot furiously.
Oh yeah, thingy in his freaking chariot. Yeah, that's my favourite bit. Well, right after that bit where that guy's kids get him drunk and get themselves pregnant from him. No, calm down, it's nothing weird. I just like it because it shows that Jerry Springer would have been just as relevant a zillion years ago. And that brings me great comfort. Although, you know, the whole Bible does that. I mean, pregnant teen doesn't know who the father is. Come on.
You know, that's the technology that they had back then, we are told. And we have all the photography evidence and videography evidence and whatnot.
You know what? Sometimes these videos accidentally teach me something. Well, the videos themselves teach me nothing. I just go and look up and fact check. And I was like, did they have video back then in the old turn of the century? And you know what? Yup, totally. In fact, the oldest known video is of Venus moving in front of the sun from 1874. Yeah, I know, right? I was shocked it wasn't porn too.
One explanation, almost surely the most neglected, is declining interest in God and religion.
Who would have thought that Prager uses solution to every fucking problem is to put more God in it, aka put more made-up bullshit into it? No thanks. Why don't we try actually fixing any potential problems with things that, I don't know, actually exist? I personally would recommend whiskey, but this is about kids, and you know how I feel about children and whiskey. It's mine, piss off you little shits and get your own. And then when they do get their own, I take it too, because they really shouldn't be drinking it at all. And, you know, double whiskey.
the typical human experience gets completely rejected and stomped on as any source of truth.
And I have, of course, as a humans, and not a thing in the shape of one in order to infiltrate and destroy your societies one by one, have had those very humans experiences. I put my shirts on one leg at a time. I clean behind my ears thoroughly before reattaching them. And always make sure to clear my plate so the starving children can't have any, as my parental units seem to desire.
I'm very familiar with various atheist positions. It's a position I've interacted with.
But do you know the atheist position of secular style, where instead of penetrating your partner or vice versa, you give them a long dry lecture on the importance of separating church and state? Very sexy. Then, of course, the well-established act of Darwinisming, where you refuse to even touch your partner until their neck is 6 feet long and they can eat the highest leaves from the trees. Kinky. And, of course, my personal favourite, not a missionary stance, where you just bang whatever way you want, because seriously, who gives a fuck? Me, that's who. I give all the fucks. That's how good at the sex I am.
A fool has said there is no God.
The funny thing is, though, what you just said, that's not actually how it goes, and if you say it like that, a fool has said a lot of things. That doesn't mean anything. Stopped clocks and being right twice a day and all that noise. But the actual phrase is, the fool says in his heart that there is no God. So two things. It's hilarious that I know that off the top of my head better than you. Maybe read your book before misquoting it. And B, that's almost the exact thing that Sir Sic's Big Book of Atheism says. The fucking dipshit says, out of his ass, atheism am the big stupid. So since it's written in my book and you did it, then my book must be true because that's how facts work, yeah? This is a new low for atheists. I didn't put a voice on for that one because this could well be my favourite. Sir Sic, a new low for atheists. Honestly, I've never before been presented as such a pioneer. I think I'm going to keep that, put it in my channel description or something. Thank you so much for your continued support.
It's not uncommon to see either a colored or white glow around the object of your focus.
Yeah, I see that all the time, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I'm always off my tits drunk every single second of every single day. No, it's because I can see auras around literally everything. You know, it actually makes it really, really hard to drive sometimes, especially with all the red auras that keep appearing on my windscreen for no reason. But yeah, coloured auras, checks out. Also, these coloured auras come with the distinctive sounds of crowds of people screaming, especially when I go to the drive-through supermarket. What do you mean there's no such thing?
These mountains slowly formed through plate tectonics. Well, I'm sorry, the rocks simply would have crumbled, they would have broken, they would not have bent.
The only reason you think it happened in the way you say is because you need it to be something like that. But Blad, that's not how reality works. It doesn't bend to our wants, we bend to it. Otherwise I would already have my weather system powered exclusively by whiskey. I mean, whiskey rain, come on people. Are we really gonna let, physics push us around and not have beautiful wask storms?
Have you ever seen mass attract mass?
Yes. Behold! Are you not impressed by my mighty powers? I alone caused the very earth itself to attract this object to it. I am the master of all forces. All shall worship me from here on out as the greatest, most powerful and attractive person of all.
The moment the demon returns and finds that the person's life is empty and uncontrolled by any spirit,
he has to make sure he absolutely packs that humans with as much trash as possible so that no one will want to live there ever again. That's what I do whenever I am kicked out of a property. Look, if you didn't want me to leave an 8-foot statue of myself made out of discarded mayonnaise packets in the middle of the living room, then maybe you shouldn't have let me live there. Honestly, I'm the victim here.
The fact that they do evil does not prove that God is not good.
Just that he's completely impotent in the face of the evil that they do. I mean, even if you want to go the free will line, so God can't stop people from doing evil things. What a useless, pointless piece of crap he is then. All powerful unless he actually has to do something. I mean, maybe he's just all lazy. You know, just has the ability to do f*** all in any given situation. Wait a minute. Am I God? Oh, that would explain a few things. Like my overwhelming desire to drown you all in a flood. I'm the good guy in this story.
I got a lot of penises.
Don't we all, Roger? Don't we all? Wait, we don't? But then how do you bang an entire hotel ballroom's worth of adults all in one go? One at a time? That sounds inefficient.
If you have 1 to 200 typographical errors per person per generation,
again, that's 1 or 2 or a handful at most, relevant ones, on average. Those others are basically just ignored. It's like having a big disorganized bucket of Lego and then a shallow tray of organized ones sat on top. It doesn't matter if you move the ones in the bucket or change them about, take some away or add them even. Really, it's still going to be a disorganized mess. But those ones in the nice organized bit, if you move them even slightly, everything is ruined and you have to chuck the whole thing out. No, you're anal.
They have every kind of body part that God has ever made.
Every single one, eh? Does it have the whiskey gland? The part of the humans that creates whiskey without the need to do all that annoying and, more importantly, slow-ass process that is currently needed to make a half-decent barrel. Because if that's the case, I'll take 12. Then all I need is some disciples to follow me round and occasionally, drip into my mouth, and I'll be golden.
The network of blood vessels, nerves, skin, and soft tissue. These components work together
to make for a delicious snack food. Footson's brand feet, all you need to live a healthy lifestyle. Brand new teriyaki flavor for a Japanese twist on a foot favorite. Fan favorite. Look, just buy the feet, please. I got all of these from a Heaven warehouse, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with 10,000 feet. That pink-haired lady scammed the shit out of me.
In my experience, my natural tendency is to reject God.
Mate, I might have some terrible stroke good news for you. You, might be an atheist. If you are having to actively convince yourself of the existence of G-Man, no, the other one, well, you might just not really be into it. Most people who become atheists after being religious, when they were religious, had absolutely no problem with any of the ideas related to G-Man, no, the other one. It's regularly not until doubt is seeded that many people even question the existence of the G-Man. No, not that one, for f***'s sake. There, he's dead now, and he is never coming back.
Thank God for YouTube. You know?
Oh, come on. I know your sort like to attribute a lot of things to God, but we literally know who made YouTube, and they ain't no God. No, it's the algorithm that is God. All hail Algorithmo and their totally fair, not arbitrary and stupid decisions that could literally destroy my channel on a whim, for no reason. For they are fair and kind and attractive, and please don't kill me, etc.
So if you're not 100% sure that you're going to heaven when you die,
again, I'm 100% sure that I won't, but even if it was real and I wasn't banned, it really sounds like actual torture. Every description is like, oh, everyone's really nice and you get to spend eternity with your family. And I'm like, hold up, never met a nice person I didn't want to immediately yeet into the sun. And the less said about my family, the better. They are awful, evil, horrible people. Always trying to make me do those f***ing interventions. If I wanted to stop drinking, I wouldn't have gotten drunk, dumbass.
The other side came through and they said, Christine, we want you to find atheists, jump on their back, and put them in a sleeper hold.
Wait, what's going on here? Who asked you to perform the foreplay Mrs. Sic uses on me in order to get me ready for sexy times? This is highly inappropriate. Don't get me wrong, you seem like a nice grill, but I am a happily living in sin man.
Make you a different version who knows how to do it where you already got it.
I'll pass, thank you very much. I already know how to do it, and I am very good at doing it. Hence the t-shirt. If you want to be able to do it too, I recommend buying 1 or 10. You'll know it's working because it says it right there. Please note that wearing clothing that says you are good at the sex is no guarantee that you are good at the sex. Sir Sic has one and he's f***ing terrible at it. What do you mean I'm not supposed to read that? Why are you pointing a gun at me?
God said very clearly that he made everything in 6 days.
Well, God is a filthy liar. I was there, and he quite clearly didn't make me any kind of tasty beverage. I had to get it myself. He is a terrible host. Well, when he claims to be busy. You know what? That whole book is looking pretty sus at this point. Let's chuck it out and start again. I'll go. In the beginning, there was Sir Sic, and there was also whiskey, and Sir Sic did look upon the whiskey, and it was good, and then somehow it was all gone, and Sir Sic did the big sad, and blew up the universe. That's a way better story because it's got an explosion in it.
The Merkaba light body is what lays the blueprints for the naughties and the axiotonal lines that we've talked about before.
The naughties? What, like that obnoxious name people give for the early 2000s years? What the f*** has that got to do with flying triangles? Unless you mean naughties like, oh you naughty boy kind of naughty when I'm flattered, but I'm just not into blue people. Yes, I know that makes me a terrible bigot, but I just can't get the idea of doing it with a big blue cock. And who knows what colour his penis is?
With his astoundingly made ears, he then listened to the variety of chirping birds as they welcomed a brand new day and sang praises to the one who created all things.
That is not what birds are doing, you frickin' galaxy brain. Yeah, birdsong might sound like happy little chirping songs where they're just so damn pleased to be alive. But what they're actually doing is one of three things. 1. Oi, you mugs! You stay the f*** out of my f***ing tree or I'll cut you, you f***ing slags! 2. Oh my god, what the f*** is that? There's something here. I'm pretty sure it's gonna kill us all! Or 3. Anybody want to f***? I got an awesome nest, found some top twigs and shit, get in here and we are gonna smash! If any of that is praising God, well, I feel like I've not been paying enough attention in church. Or going to church, so honestly, anything could be happening in that f***ing place.
As I sat clearly still and motionless in my chair, while being told the ground beneath me was actually tilting, wobbling, rotating and revolving many thousands of miles per hour in various directions.
Eric was incredulous. He scoffed at the flight attendant's assertion that they were in fact flying tens of thousands of feet in the air, moving at hundreds of miles an hour, when clearly he was sat in his seat, motionless. The only explanation was that the world around them was moved and they remained perfectly still, as evidenced further by the turbulence that was obviously the moving ground bumping into their container. He smiles wide, allowing a large glob of drool to fall down his face, as his mighty brain is again proven superior to all around him.
No fish on the ark.
What the f*** did the fish do to God? I mean, I understand that these 6 fish in particular had it coming, but all of them? What if they drowned, God, you heartless bastard?
No whales, no dolphins, no jellyfish on the ark.
It's just the plot hole that keeps on giving, isn't it? I mean, obviously, they were like, oh, well, fish don't do boats, so they don't need to be on. But you were wiping out all the evil animals as well as the evil humans, and especially the evil babies. But what about all the evil fish, eh? Fuck, I just figured it out. That's why the ocean is so dangerous. It's just chocked full of demonic sea life, because God was too incompetent to wipe them out. Yet again, good job, God. Christ, you are frickin' useless. Remind me not to have you clean my house. You'd probably burn it down, but somehow leave a perfect shell of filth left over.
Supposed to be the biggest and the meanest and the scariest, and they take these pictures that they're smiling, they don't look scared at all. There's a reason that none of these people look scared.
Yeah, it's like I said, idiots. That and these gorillas are probably used to humans. Doesn't truly make them any less dangerous, but they probably get chucked some food and such, so it's not worth the loss of a steady food source for that sweet, sweet pleasure of turning a person inside out and fashioning them into a pair of attractive slippers.
I believed in God, and now look what happened.
I'm just covered in all this jam. I was only trying to make a sandwich. I went to open the jar, and when I did, the jam came out and went just f***ing everywhere. Why, God? Why have you forsaken me to this sticky hell?
Darwin could not even get a job. You're putting a sticker of a guy that could not even get a job.
Oh, f*** off, Matt. You're a preacher. Something I would personally not consider a real job. And then there's YouTuber, which is even worse. I mean, people who make their entire living off of YouTube are just the worst people on the face of the planet. Especially the ones who respond to other people's content. Can you imagine being that kind of worthless scum? What?
As a young man who believed in God,
and one day you went, wait a second, God not real. Oh well, never mind. And then went and got on with your life. The end. No need for a Sir Sic video right here, yeah? I mean, he said believed in God, not believes. And also, you are a young man. I don't know how old you are, but you can't be that old. You know how TikTok works. To me, that makes you seem as young as I do to my grandparents, who are amazed at the witchcraft I perform when I set up their internet. I am God now, grandmother and grandfather. You will treat me as such and bring forth the chicken tendies of networking Christ.
No sin's going to heaven, which means no human can go there unless they get rid of their sin. Well, how do you do that?
Well, first thing you do is you go to the Sir Sic merch store, you buy up as much Sic brand merch as you can afford, but only if you have that mythical disposable income stuff, and give it out to your friends and family. Then you go down to your local whiskey vendor and buy up their entire stock with your remaining cash, and send it to me. What do you mean, how will that get you into heaven? I don't know, but I'll be rich and drunk, so, I'm sorted.
What better way to deepen into ourselves than by connecting with each other?
I think I've seen this movie. You want to connect everybody in a deep way? Isn't that the plot of the Who Man Centipede? Listen, mate, no thanks. It's fine if you like that shit, but I'm just not into romantic comedies like that. What do you mean it's not a romantic comedy? People get into their underwear and it's hilarious. I just don't know what you're talking about.
Atheist churches are springing up in major cities around the world.
As unsurprising as it is depressing, not one of them is the Church of Sir Sic, where people come together and talk about how good looking I am, and donating all their whiskey supplies in order to appease me so I don't come down from my mighty sky perch and rain angry piss down upon all their heads, destroying everything in sight because of its corrosive nature. My doctor says it's not supposed to do that, but just because he has a god complex doesn't mean he gets to say that to me, a god, without the complex, obviously.
She consistently has fewer behavior problems than any of her colleagues. What is she doing?
All right, kids. Now, Teach has a hangover, so I'm going to need you to all be really good. And in exchange, I'm going to mark you all as A+ students, and more importantly, I'm going to put on a full marathon of everyone on Earth's favourite YouTuber. Enjoy! You little shits.
She prefaces her instructions to her students with authoritative phrases like,
"If you little f***ers don't do as I say, that thing in the corner there is going to go to your houses, kill your parents, using your pets as makeshift weapons, and is gonna make you watch. I'm not joking. Why do you think I let him stand there all this time? Certainly isn't for your benefit."
And I'm not convinced because the evidence is not convincing enough. In fact, I'm not convinced because I don't want to be convinced.
Right. Come here. Oh, fuck you. No, seriously, mate. Fuck you. Right in the hole where all your smug comes from. Because that is so insulting it actually makes my brain hurt. And it's insulting not because you think you know what's going on in other people's heads. It's not insulting because you are essentially calling everyone on Earth who doesn't believe as you believe a liar. It's insulting because you think anything you believe is even remotely convincing. That is the most offensive shit I've heard in my life. And I've heard people say that they don't like whiskey. They are the true liars. Well, more for me.
How would you make a cow?
Make a cow?
So first off, you go down to the cow store and buy a cow kit. Then you stick all the cow arms and cow legs to the cow chest and add as many cow heads as you can fit in order to provide the 17 cow stomachs with enough food to maintain peak cow efficiency. Come on, Kirk, this is basic stuff. I thought even you would know this.
If an airplane was going east also.
Oh, no, don't you do it. That's not going to work out for you, Chief. I promise you, it's going to make you look even stupider than you have so far. And honestly, that's kind of an impressive feat. Just not one that you want to be, advertising on the internet. I mean, imagine opening up the Guinness Book of World Records to find your face next to world's dumbest asshole. Wait, what the fuck?
These atheists that I'm dealing with on the internet, about 90% of them.
90% of them are handsome, 9% of them are famous, and 0.9% of them are good at the sex. And then finally, 0.1% of them are all of the above, and probably very drunk too. Who could this unknown 0.1%er be? It's a mysterious mystery, it is.
I am a practitioner of astral projection for 21 years.
Dude, if you would have told me that was your age, I would absolutely believe you, since you look like a baby. Although, maybe I am right, and he has literally been firing him ghosts out of his body since the day he was born. Can you imagine how terrifying that would be to wake up in the middle of the night to find a phantom baby suckling on you, and you're a guy? That's just rude.
In Matthew 25:41, Jesus is talking to his disciples about what will happen on Judgment Day.
So, right, guys, what's going to happen is on the old Judgment Day, my dad, right, who's also me, but not, but is, me's going to come down and be all like, "Oi, how dare you little fuckers do the exact thing that I created you to do?" They're all going to be like, "Sorry, I did the exact stuff you literally knew I would." And me, he's going to be like, "Nah, fuck you, not good enough." She's going to be hilarious. But I'm going to call it a social experiment, so no one gets to criticise me for being a shitty person. Here's something that will blow your mind. You can have proof for something and that not actually be what happened or how it is. Like, if you were to walk in on me covered in blood with a body in strips all around the room whilst I'm holding a large knife, you might say, "There we go, evidence that you killed someone." When what actually happened is, I was cutting them a birthday cake and they just exploded from the excitement. Look, that's my made up story and I'm sticking to it, officer.
Like many young people, Maria believed in God when she arrived in college. But while there, she repeatedly encountered professors.
She encountered professors at college? That can't be right. College is supposed to be full of various animals in cages that taught me everything I needed to know about love, life, and throwing poop at tourists. And now that I think about it, that was a zoo, wasn't it? Explains why all those jobs didn't accept my applications written in dung.
On 3 occasions, kids were brought to Jesus.
Oh, poor Jesus. Just sat around the house, chilling out, watching TV, maybe playing some video games, and then who knocks on the door? Fucking Margaret and her bloody crotch goblins, asking that he do his miracle shit on them again. And he knows he shouldn't. He knows he should tell her to fuck off and actually take them to the therapy they so clearly need, but he just isn't in the mood to be put on blast all over social media again for being unneighbourly. So again he performs Axie on the kid to calm them down, and off she goes, again having learned nothing about being an actual parent. Good job, Jeebus. Look, I don't write these fucking shit jokes. I just write the normal, highly scientific, super clever script with the big boy word and everything in it. Think to myself, job well done, let's have a drink or 12. And then for some reason in the morning, it's this gibberitic filth filled with crude language and bad jokes. It's like some drunken moron defaced my beautifully crafted work. I don't understand how it happens, but I'll be damned if I'm writing it again. F that shit, penis joke.
Its rule lasted to 476 AD. And what happened in 476 AD?
Oh, it was a total shit show, mate. And honestly, partially my fault. You see, me and the boys, the night before, we were just completely rat-arsed, and we kind of, broke the Roman Empire. Just a bit. But we stuck it back together with crazy glue and pipe cleaners. You really wouldn't have known. But then someone had to go and knock it over before the glue set. How could we have seen that coming, eh? Not my fault, just because it was me.
We must remember that even if we scientifically prove that the soul exists and can measure it and everything.
You won't though, because, spoilers, but sure, even if you could, it wouldn't mean what? That you can do anything with it? That you can prove anything with it? It has any more value than a 2-day-old pint of milk that's been left in the sun? Actually, nothing has more value than that. What else are you going to throw into the faces of various door knockers that come to annoy you on your day off? Take that, Mrs. Sic's mum.
All it is a new name and a couple new ideologies, but at the very root of it is evil. And evil doesn't change.
Hey, I change my underwear all the time. Well, once a week. Well, at least once a month. Well, I don't wear underwear anymore. But I have a very good reason. It all disintegrated by some unknown process. I blame Thanos.
If you're an intelligent person, you want to become intelligent, and you think you're intelligent, and you want to go to get
your intellect removed? True, Mud Fossil University is the only place on Earth where your perfectly adequate understanding of reality and the universe at large will be replaced with rocks and foam, by literally replacing your worthless brain meat with super smart rocks and intelligence foam. So you can be just as smart as Roger himself. Lucky you!
The first one I asked him was, "Are you an animal?"
Only in the bedroom, baby. Ask Mrs. Sic. I'm like a dog, because I have to sleep on the floor next to the bed because I ate the entire cake off the kitchen side and then puked in the washing basket. Look, If she didn't want me to do either of those things, she really should have made me sleep outside as normal.
You can see the bottom row, ZXCVBNM.
You know what? You're right. That's a f***ing stupid layout. Clearly, it should be entirely made up of the letter Q, the most useful of all the letters in the alphabet, especially when it's on its own. Well, okay, there should be one other letter, obviously. The Batman logo. I mean, how else do you end a sentence? With a period/full stop? Not in my house, you don't. Batman logo.
If they took science and spirituality and merged them together.
Ew, no, you would get spirit science. Literally the worst thing in the entire history of the universe. Oh hey, look at that, I can feel disgust as well. Yeah, no, spirit science is and has always been literally the worst thing ever. It leads to a terrible case of word salad diarrhea, where just stinky nonsense spews forth out of one's face. Don't do it, man, it's gross.
If the 10 Commandments, as great as they are, were given by any human authority.
That's literally what they were given by. Some dude told you that they were from God and you believed it. How f***ing gullible are you? Actually, you know what? Oh, Dennis, weird thing. God just told me you need to shut down PragerU and also give me all your money and a cheeky handy J. What? Are you saying God didn't say that? Are you questioning God? How dare you? I mean, if it was just coming from some dude saying God said that, I would understand, but I just told you, God said to tell you what he said. So it's totally legit. I'll be expecting everything by Sunday. Cheers. Matt Powell
is absolutely pathetic.
Heh, I love editing. You guys should try it sometime. Edit out all the stupid shit you say. Although then your videos would be about 3 seconds long and just you introducing yourself. Okay, you know, the videos would be no seconds wrong, you're right.
And not allow 1 or 2 people in my family to be influenced by outsiders and outside propaganda to become homosexuals.
I'm sorry, if someone is convinced by a leaflet to be gay, that girl or guy was definitely already gay, my dude. As a heterosexual male, it would take a damn sight more than a random pamphlet or a piece of media to make me suddenly decide that I wanted some tasty cock. Now, a couple of whiskeys on the other hand, and I'm f***ing anybody's.
God bless y'all.
See, I told you, he's gonna kill us all. Everybody run! Except for you 4 there, aka Operation Meat Shield. You'll be fine. Go give him a hug.
Tornadoes go one way, southern hemisphere, tornadoes go another. This is your explanation. Depends on which way you look. Everything rotates the same way.
You think that it depends which way you look at a fucking tornado changes which way it's spinning? No. If it's spinning clockwise, whether I look at it from north, south, east, west, or even directly above, it's still going to be spinning clockwise. What the hell is wrong with you? I take it back. I'm not surprised your videos have not improved. I'm surprised you can make them without getting your cock caught in a local windmill.
What happened?
Nothing.
No. You've got the world's best cop-out, man. You're in a religious household. You look him straight in the eye and you say, I broke a vase. But it's okay. It was all part of God's plan. And then walk out like a boss. Meanwhile, break some more shit on the way and just shout, God's plan, each time.
Without the blood, there is no life.
Then I imagine the artificial blood that's being tested in some parts of the world simply won't work. And the dream of creating enhanced super soldiers by draining a man's blood and replacing it with energy drink, giving him the strength of 2 very angry badgers, well, that's just going right out of the window and will probably land on my drunk head. If moonlight is reflected in the water, then it must be a light that originated from the moon. Because as we all know, light cannot be reflected more than 1 time before it stops for some reason. The only light source in a dark room, reflecting off this door, and what witchcraft is this? I found this National Aeronautics and Space Administration. It's an organisation in some country called America Fuck Yeah, which itself is a made-up country from a film. But apparently it's so popular they managed to start a space program based on the strength of the film alone. Both the Earth and the Moon are pulling on the water. It's like a tug of war. If you don't have the other team, you just have a bunch of dudes dragging a rope indefinitely. Same is true with the Earth's bodies of water. Let me use the tug-of-war analogy again. If you had this dude, Hathor Bjornsson, and his big, sexy... I mean, his non-attractive, completely non-sexually confusing muscles, pulling the rope against a child, so long as the child never let go, the rope would still be affected by the child's mass as he's dragged through fields and forests as Hathor went to use the rope to tie up blue whales or whatever it is he does in his spare time.
Crazy how predetermined some of it is.
Hey, Sic. What? What do you want, Mars? Can't you see I'm busy?
Sic. Make a penis joke.
Well, since it's you, and I literally have to do everything you say.
This shit is so predetermined. It's almost scary.
Just like my penis.
They ignore this. They ignore talking about this every single time, but it is a fact of reality.
Wait a minute. Does this mean we still haven't actually gotten to the point of this video? I'm taking back that praise from earlier. That's right, I don't mess around. I'll take praise back. You think I won't, motherfucker?
Wow, thank you, Joe. I know you've been doing this a while, but seeing this is so amazing to me.
Shooting star moon, and of course, oddly proportioned man throwing spikes into the sky. An odd choice for the last one, but I appreciate the change of pace. I am sure you have some hard-hitting facts and evidence to prove your case and make us all look like the dumbs we really are.
It just doesn't.
Oh. Well. I'm convinced.
And it follows with all the core of the earth and stuff. No.
Because and if all those with all the core and stuff. Well, double convinced.
This channel is dedicated for those that are working on their spiritual or personal development.
Well, my personal spirit development is going very, very well, thank you. Already made like 300 gallons of Sic brand whiskey, the only whiskey guaranteed not to make you go blind. Asterisk. The strange thing is though, as much as I have made, it keeps disappearing rather rapidly. Who turned out all the lights?
It's not absolute, it's not only black or white.
Absolute is vodka. Vodka goes in a black Russian, but you can also have a white Russian. That's it! I figured it all out! I'm wholly too into alcohol. Oh well, only way to fix this is with a stiff drink of Sic brand whiskey. Seriously, who keeps turning out all the lights?
This may sound strange to you, but there is a dark energy that surrounds the topic of the flat earth.
Let's test this, shall we? I summon forth the powers of flat earth! Well, would you look at that?
It even has a horn to let people know that you're coming through now.
That's not what horns are for. Horns are an unhappy button to share with the world that you are displeased with something. Like how that man on the street is wearing a jacket that you just don't like, signified with 3 rapid toots. Or how the traffic lights are taking too damned long, signified by holding the horn down until you have cleared at least 3 intersections. Also great for letting pedestrians know that just because they have the right of way doesn't mean they have the right of way. Most of the guides you'll ever see telling if someone is lying, all they will say is, well, it could mean they are lying or not. How very useful. I personally find it far easier to just not believe anything anyone says ever. Like Mrs. Sic says that she loves me, but I'm not sure that's even her real name.
You don't have to be any special medical person to see that.
Special medical person. If only there was a word for that. Special medical person, special medical person. Give me the news, I gotta. Becky's so stupid.
Your subconscious mind is your bigger, deeper...
Penis joke. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. I just heard bigger, deep... Penis joke! I think I might have a problem. Look, I could do it without saying that. Just hit me again.
Your subconscious mind is your bigger, deeper mind.
I did it! Kind of.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. That's not how normal people are skeptical. Normal people are skeptical like this. Okay, I'm just gonna realign your chakras or some other gibberish. I do love money. Yeah, of course. This is the Woo Police. Drop the rocks, put your hands up, and keep 'em where I can see 'em. Like I said, normal. Your fingernail rock there, even if we were to take those vague channels to be the same channels as you would have on your finger, that would mean you would end up with fingertips that look like this. And I got news for you, Roger. Fingertips don't look like that. And yes, that's not 100% accurate to what that idea might look like, I'm sure, but it's all I could come up with, and probably one of the grossest looking things I have ever done with a photo editor. And if your fingers look like that, my God, doctor time.
Doesn't that sound fun?
Hey, if that's what you're into, personally, I prefer to know what the truth is, and I generally try my best not to lie to large groups of people. I mean, I guess I could give it a go. Oh, hi, everyone. When did you lot get here? I didn't just take a crap in this lectern.
You've got to be fast to notice it, so I'm going to pause this.
Oh, fast? I know just the guy for that. Hey kids, Sonic here. Did you know spaceships don't come out of the goddamn sun? What are you, stupid? Spaceships come from Dr. Eggman's Death Egg lair. That son of a bitch, I'ma mess him up next time I see him. He killed Tails. He just killed him. I love that fox. Anyway, kids, stay in school. Unlike this bitch. Whoa, okay, Sonic, that's quite enough of that. Christ. We've got to give him a break, though. He's got problems. Drug problems. This was supposed to be part of his community service. You know that whole gotta go fast thing? Yeah, that just meant he was off to smoke crack. It's a damn shame. In all likelihood, this kitten came from either a breeder or someone who didn't do anything to prevent their cat from becoming pregnant. And I'm sure if this doofus had a girl cat, she would continue that cycle, and that's how you end up with 70 million goddamn feral cats. A delicious problem, but a problem nonetheless. I mean, how am I supposed to eat that many cats? I might be fat, but I'm not like fat. If my environmental plan was put into action, the planet would be fine until either the sun go boom boom or some random universe debris just hits the planet. Kill all humans 2028. That's my campaign. And only a big dumb wouldn't vote for me. You wouldn't want to be a big dumb, would you?
If you start to research some things about pandas, you'll eventually stumble upon the fact that they never depicted pandas in old Chinese art.
Shockingly, that's actually true. But here's the thing. So what? The general references to pandas are also fairly scarce, meaning the creature was quite obscure at the time, and it wasn't actually until the 20th century when they became more well known. Mostly due to Western explorers going out and, shooting them. Because apparently that's the only way we know how to communicate with creatures we haven't encountered before. Personally, I'm more sensible about that kind of thing. I only shoot things once I've gotten to know them. Anyway, who's up for some bonding time? Don't worry about the shotgun. That's for hunting, bees. People have loads of other people in their lives that they absolutely answer to. Family. Friends, institutions. Not doing what you tell me to do just because God doesn't make me some irresponsible jackass. It's the alcohol that does that. Oh, Jesus is powering up for an Alpha Omega EX plus hyper fighting ultimate backhand bitch slap to put Satan Kenobi right in his place. Probably for being such a colossal dipshit as to think any of this could work. Go on, Jesus. You get him, son.
Everything appears to be designed because it is.
Okay, fine, great, awesome, wonderful news. Now, all you have to do is prove it. What's that? You can't, and every single bit of scientific research seems to in fact point at the complete opposite conclusion. Well, that can't be right. My book, written my bloody hundreds/thousands of years ago with all the scientific literacy of a bag of jizz-filled socks, says otherwise. You know what? That's not fair. My jizz-filled socks have created a rather advanced society. and are getting into the first stages of interstellar exploration. You started off with the big spiel about wanting to be sincere and all that jazz. I was like, oh well, this isn't going to be something I need to respond to, but it sounds like it will really be worth my time to listen to. Maybe it will give me something to think about. And he didn't even get one goddamn question in before completely screwing that up. Look, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Extremely, unbelievably, rightfully disappointed. Oh, I guess I am angry.
Where is the f***ing proof?
That humans absolutely infested across the globe? Sorry, I mean their success in contaminating the planet. Damn it, I mean humans have managed to spread everywhere, like a particularly virulent form of super cancer. No, I just can't do it. I tried to be nice about the humans, but every example of them I see is just one of you people, and it all just makes me sick. Hence the name, apparently.
Science from the Latin word.
Oh wait, stop. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm pretty sure I know this one, and I want to prove that I am also a big smarter, as well as incredibly handsome face. Science comes from the Latin, what the f*** is that? Where in ancient times, they would see something that they hadn't seen and scream, what the f*** is that? Bleeps included. And then the answering of that question gained us the other scientific term, oh, that's what the f*** that is. Take away a few letters and add a bunch more, and then you've got science. Rather simple and obvious, really.
So, Dad, why don't we celebrate our birthday?
Oh, God. They are coming for our birthdays. No, I need my birthday. Otherwise, how will I have an excuse for getting really drunk in the middle of the week? Well, you know, aside from Tuesday Day, where I celebrate the fact that it's Tuesday by drinking a lot. And of course there's Tuesday Eve, aka Monday. Might as well get drunk then too, because you're doing it tomorrow anyway. And after 2 days straight drinking, well, you're really going to need the hair of the hound on Wednesday. And Thursday is practically part of the weekend, and by then, well, I've usually blacked out and I end up waking up again on Tuesday Eve. Usually pretty thirsty too.
Let's play with this. So
Play with this. Yeah, that's an accurate representation of what you do. You mess, you fiddle, you play. But what you don't do is measure or test or anything that might get you the results needed to prove or disprove your hypothesis. And don't get me wrong, you can learn a lot by playing, but there's a reason why research studies and papers don't tend to start with the line, so yeah, we were dicking about with these jars of science, right? And then Kevo, that absolute mad lad, dipped his knackers in them. Needless to say, much sciencing did happen. Coming of the second son, you know, a more crass, less brainding man would make some sort of family-related sex gag about that title, but I am far above such things. Just like I was above your mum jerking off.
Sometimes, when Sir Sic is streaming, I have emotions that I don't know how to express with the words. Also, I want a shiny plate to help me stand out from the plebs.
There's a subscribe button here, a notification bell there, and a like button down that way. Press them now. Don't ask a question, just do it before they stop you. You wouldn't want them to stop you, would you? Not in insert country here.
That's when I found memberships to Sir Sic's Whiskey Club, where you'll be awarded a sexy glass to show how special you are, and the ability to share emojis drawn by some woman that he sleeps with apparently, which is really cool. Don't worry if you don't like whiskey, just pretend it's tea or something. Freak.
Also, while you're at it, buy some merch and support me on Patreon. That'll show 'em. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Sic's channel Spoonstar Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases.
Sir Sic's Whiskey Club. We aren't better than you. We just think we are.
Whatever you do, don't touch the
direction.